Recently, I started playing Nier Automata. I'm about an hour and a half into the game and will be doing a final review once I complete the game. However, I wanted to give you guys my first impressions and thoughts, so let's just go ahead and dive right into it. This game definitely wears its influences on its sleeve. For example, I would say it has a very similar feel in combat to, say, Devil May Cry, and on top of that, the dodging mechanism and some of the character aspects definitely feel very similar to the game Bayonetta. Bayonetta, I didn't play the first one, but I did play the second one, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. The combat was quite fun, and on top of that, you have a dodging mechanic which activates witch time, where essentially if you dodge right at the right time, everything moves into slow motion, and you're able to dodge varying attacks. This game, I would say, has the similar situation when it comes to dodging, where if you dodge right at the right time, it has this kind of tracer effect over your character, and you can block or get out of the way of any damage that's coming your way. This is particularly useful for some of the really big bosses that they have, and a lot of the enemies are fucking huge. Within the first hour, you're going to fight this giant boss that the second I saw it was like, what the fuck? How am I going to take this on? But the game does a good job of making it feel like you're continually progressing and continually getting damage done as long as you utilize everything that's at your disposal. So let me go ahead and back up a little bit. This game sees you playing as this character who is sent to take down some sort of, enemy or soul, and on the way, you find other characters to interact with, and you utilize a mech. There's also this other little floaty thing that flies around and follows you around, and that floating robot basically shoots out various bullets and is kind of your gun. You also, on top of that, have two swords that you can utilize for heavy or light attacks, and you can chain those together in really satisfying ways. You utilize that combined with your shooting mechanic in order to really take down enemies quite quickly, and it also makes it super satisfying to take on large swaths of enemies. Usually I find that games that throw a lot of enemies at you at once are really kind of sad excuses for difficulty because they just don't know how to make the boss or whatever, level harder. However, I think that in this game it does a good job of utilizing that to add some level of difficulty while also making it feel like you're really taking out a lot of them at a time and really kind of just jamming through. On top of that, utilizing your sword and chaining together everything feels super satisfying, especially how you can chain things together in the air, as well as take on flying enemies, with various things like tossing them to the side and then throwing them into the ground and breaking their little ship and then taking them on head on. Beyond that, there isn't too much else to the combat. There is a little bit of basicness when it comes to that, but I enjoy not having to have all sorts of like different potions or other shit or various different, moves, and keeping some level of simplicity while also adding to the fun aspects of like what the boss's looks are and what the designs are is definitely where this game shines. I will say one thing that is kind of frustrating, and I can understand why some people do get frustrated, is you're not able to save the game for the first hour of playing. It took me about an hour through before it actually gave you the capability to go into the pause menu and save. However, as long as you go in and you utilize your character menu to heal yourself and do other things, you should be able to get through pretty easily, as they do give you a lot of health to work with. On top of that, I find the characters to be really fun. The character that has a mech that you come across that you kind of take their mech from them after they get injured was a really cool character, and I also like how they kind of go back and forth between this more flat 2D looking style when you're running across various areas to the more just like open world straight on thing. Although it is linear as far as I can tell, it is very just straightforward. You have to go here, here, here. There aren't really many branching paths or anything that you can take in the way of that. That's really pretty much all I have to say about this game so far. Obviously, once I get more through the story and all that other stuff, we can go ahead and chat about that further. But this game is really cool, has some fantastic enemies, and really has some great what the fuck moments that make me excited to continue playing, as well as a good bit of difficulty that I find quite enjoyable. What do you guys think? Do you like this game? Do you dislike it? Let me know in the comments down below. Besides that, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That'll pop up during the outro, and the rest of our links are down in the description too. We have gaming sessions for gaming content, movie and smoking sessions for movie content, CrazyRocky for variety content, and the Try Podcast is our podcast channel. All right, guys, I'll see you all in the next one. I stay out of my head to the depths of the universe.
a spell or a chance just to open up a newer